I love you. It says you're live. Hello, Geminis. I know crazy Geminis. How are you? I love you guys. Both of these. Gentlemen in the bottom of the deck. Right at the beginning of the read. How is everyone doing this morning? Just morning. Just over morning. How's everyone doing? This reading today is for Gemini for November. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. And any cross watchers who would like to get into the head of their Gemini. Most of y'all know the drill. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. The messages may or may not be for you today. One message may be for you. 50, not 50, but 12 messages may be for you. You know what I mean, Gemini? You guys, you're handy with the steel. You're quick. You know what I mean? So, Gemini. If it doesn't resonate, however, you can always check out your moon and ascendant signs, like I said, or Venus at like cafeastrology.com. I usually do plug it in the description box below, but sometimes I have trouble with the live feed, so I type the same like huge description and title sequence or whatnot like 3 times over, and then I'm just like, fuck it. So all y'all know where to go usually to get your natal chart anyway, so I have faith in you, Gemini. I don't know, however, if the chat is properly on, because first video, Aries said it was not, so I apologize if anyone does catch this at 2 a.m. and chat isn't properly working. How are you doing? So, Gemini, I was just kind of like going over your Halloween energy and your October read, and it's funny because I did that after I was, nice. I did that after I was already shuffling some cards for you, and Father of Swords kept coming out, and the Devil card kept coming out, and the Six of Swords. And in your October reading, if I, your Halloween spread, if I do believe, it was very much about the Devil card, and but your pumpkins were you moving into calmer waters, Gemini. Some of you guys have long since suffered a controlling relationship, a controlling environment, and you, so far, out of the 4 cards, we have the 4 of Pentacles here, and that is just that. It is, all new good news for your bank account, but don't let the money make you possessive or controlling or obsessive, Gemini. But other than that, we've got some pretty bright energy, just like your October read. So I feel like mostly your Halloween reading with Devil card very heavily influenced in it, and he was rearing his head in the pre-shuffle. This is something that you guys are moving through or have moved through, like I said, negative energy, controlling, restrictive relationships, getting out of those things, getting out of addiction, Gemini. So bravo and brava for those of you that are doing that, getting out of codependent relationships, getting out of negative mindsets in general, and especially to do with yourself, Gemini, negativity towards yourself when you're pretty fucking awesome. You know what I mean? So, so why fret? You know what I mean? Looks like things are finally being a little sunnier for you, Gemini, so far. Can I please have 5 more cards, 4 more cards, please now. Oh, and this young lady keeps showing up to you, the Daughter of Swords. She would be the Page of Swords. And she, in this deck, is more personified. She's a very frank, honest young woman. People respect her for that. She's very witty. If you are looking at her as the Page of Swords, this is honest communication. This is being able to trust in the people that are around you right now, Gemini. There's the other shoe. 5 of Cups. Don't we always have, the other shoe card drop? You always have one card that's like mediocre, at least. Ooh, Temperance. 2 more cards from my beautiful Gemini brothers and sisters. All right. So I hope you all did have a happy, safe Halloween. I wanted to get these readings out a little quicker, but to be honest, ooh, and it's interesting wrench just got thrown in there. I feel like, oh yeah. The Taurus full moon. I don't know about you guys, but you know, ladies in the house showing up last. Ladies in the house. You know what? Your fucking Halloween reading is shit you not. Your pumpkins to harvest for a brighter future were ladies, air sign, and the Six of Swords. So that is your last card in the bottom of your deck energy. Go back and check. I'm not positive, but I think the Eight of Cups was the goblins in the present moment. If the devil's under this, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna fucking die. I have to check. You guys know I do. Okay, no. Five of Wands. Still. Scattered thought, lack of focus. Gemini. Alright. We're gonna check out the bottom of the deck and see what's going on for you guys for November. As I said, we have the lovely Six of Swords here. Okay? This is about hope at last. This is about a breath of fresh air. This is about travel. Sometimes for some of you, this is about moving into calmer waters. It's about moving away from a rough situation. You know, with the Eight of Cups under it, very nicely speaking to the fact that yes, you are walking away from a situation that does not serve you anymore. That devil energy I was referring to in the pre-shuffle and in your Halloween spread. Negative people, places, things. Fill in the blank. You know what resonates for you, Gemini. Y'all know who I'm talking to. If this is for you, and I trust that it will find the people that it needs to, and not because of anything that I'm doing. Because of you guys clicking on the reading at the time that you're supposed to see it, and because of, divine intervention at play. So give me one moment, please. You're moving into calmer waters, Gemini. You're moving away from, I just heard, you're moving away from, when are they going to call? When are they going to come by? And not all of you. This is just being very specific to one or two Geminis out there. I looked at the Seven of Pentacles and didn't distinctly hear when are they going to call. This is a card of contemplation. This is a card of waiting, the waiting game. This is, when are the fruits of my harvest, the fruits of my labor going to come to harvest. I've been sacrificing a lot. I've been putting in the work. I've been, busting my ass. When am I going to see the turnaround? When am I going to see the result of my hard, dutiful work? Okay. But it just immediately jumped out to me as in like my hard work in a love situation. I hope the audio is not off on my mouth. I am downstairs in the basement doing this live, so apologize if it is. So Gemini, there's no more waiting for you, which usually does not take a Gemini long to like fucking wait around for somebody. You guys just don't. You're like, you're lost. Happily said. Okay. So moving away with this energy, you're also taking away this stagnancy. Okay. This restrictive, obsessive, oppressive, obsessive, possessive energy. Okay. All good news for your bank account, Gemini. Dollars and cents are not what's concerning you this month, but it's either you or someone else who, possibly could have got really caught up codependently in a person, or in a situation. Yes, a friendship. Some of you, yeah, definitely a friendship for some of you, or a job, what have you. But I'm really feeling romantic ties here, because this is the type of possessiveness that Scorpios know well. This is the type of possessiveness that's like, that's mine. That's mine. It's not yours. It's mine. So back the fuck up. And then it's all like, boom. Either there was a breakup or there's a standstill. There's a halt in how things were moving along, how the flow of life was kind of going along for you. Because this is, yes, confusion after a breakup, but it could just be confusion. It's sadness. This is Five of Cups. It's about sorrow. Arguments with friends. But like threes and the fives in most tarot, like I tell you guys, always know that there are two full chalices at the back of your heels, Gemini. You have two people in your corner, always. Just like the Three of Pentacles, you're the one, two people in your corner. He's looking at on the ground this little horse. He's like, three of my water troughs are split over. He doesn't know he's got two right behind him. You got people in your corner, Gemini. So you need to ask for the help. You need to identify who they really are. That's specifically to you guys this month. I don't usually say this, but I feel like you guys really need to pay attention to who's in your fucking corner, Gemini, and who isn't. Okay, who's pretending to be in your corner and why they're doing it, what their ulterior motive is. Yeah, that was for somebody. I don't know who. So, ladies in the house, we have you guys, the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Cups. Hello. We've joined in your reading together. The Queen of Swords is also, like her daughter, or the mother in this deck, excuse me, very perceptive, very perceptive. No one even notices that she's taking notes on everything. And she is bang on when it comes into her intuition, okay? This woman has gained her wisdom, unfortunately, usually through tragedy. Not all of you Gemini women I'm saying are, but like there's a certain group I'm speaking to that it was either a spiritual breakthrough that was very intense or a loss of something that I don't even want to rehash. Um, you know what I'm talking about? Like these are usually widows or, mothers that may have had to bury their children. Um, I don't know why this feels important this month to reiterate. I usually don't touch on that. But she is very strong and silent, and she watches from afar. People think that Gemini, yes, you guys are outwardly bubbly. You outwardly usually are very positive, but you are taking fucking notes. Mercury, communication. And you're pairing up with this young lady, the Mother of Cups, the most intuitive of the deck next to the High Priestess. Some of you, I just literally heard, like, fuck. It wasn't the word partnership, but it was like an intuitive confidant, okay? Like, I'm just going off about how, the Mother of Swords, through sometimes through tragedy, yes, she gains this innate wisdom. But you guys are very observant just naturally. And the Mother of Cups rivals the High Priestess in the deck for her natural given psychic ability as well. So I just heard like not in that those words, but the best way I can explain it to you is an intuitive companionship. Um, you could be really connecting with a, gender, throw it out the window. But some of you ladies out there could be connecting with another water sign female, Pisces too, super intuitive people. And I feel like you can trust this person coming into your circle. So just, keep a lookout for them, Gemini, and don't dismiss everybody at the door. Some people let them in for a little while. Now, this is where it gets a little interesting, okay? After the waiting game, after the fucking toxicity, after the sadness, maybe this is where this friend comes in. Maybe this is not even where a friend comes in. We're in energy, where this voice in your head comes in and says, it's going to be all right. It's going to be okay. But you need to recognize your part in the situation, Gemini. You need to recognize what's going on, and you know when to cut your losses in the situation. Some of you guys have been doing the same thing over and over. I want to say some of you Geminis. Again, if it doesn't resonate, it doesn't resonate. But I know I'm speaking to at least one Gemini out there that this will. Some of you guys have, yes, known that this has been going on for a while. You've watched it, but you've watched it because out of respect. I just heard out of tradition, like it's always been this way. Some of you younger Gemini women have been sitting back taking notes and being like, mm-mm, mm-mm, Not for me. Not for me. You guys have been taking notes from possibly this, older water sign female, but you're like, it's splitsville. I'm making a decision, but you've been sitting back and you've been negotiating with yourself. You've been watching the rise and fall. I just heard. Sounds really weird, but you've been watching it all go down for months. Um, but you got really swept up into it with that devil energy. And again, he's not here now, but in the pre-shuffle he was there, and almost every other card around your Halloween reading is here. It signifies to me that yes, hope it lasts. This is inevitable change. Okay, the Two of Pentacles is also referred to as inevitable change. Um, should I go here or there? Should I take this job or that job? Should I be with him or her? Should I be with her or her? You know what I mean? Like, it is not the pendulum effect, the seesaw effect. But you are negotiating. You are not just, when it's in the upright, you are not just like throwing caution to the wind, this no fool energy here. Okay. In the reverse, you may be a little more apt to act a little rashly. Gambling, also, watch out if it's in the reverse, but it's not. So, gamble away, my Geminis. Have fun. You're making a decision for yourself, okay? And hopefully, this is some future energy that I'm seeing here. After you make this decision, it's going to come balance, okay? But not after, while you are really solidifying this decision that you're making, because you have taken the intuitive keys from your body, from those around you, from your environment, from your dreams, and you are really settling into, I pray for you, settling into a sturdy spot, a balanced, patient, compassionate spot, Gemini. This could be you dealing with a fire sign as well, Sagittarius energy, or this could be you trying to help one balance themselves out. There's a conflict within somebody, and you're there to help them not use fire or water, but blend the two to make it work for them or make it work for you. Nine of Cups. You're entering a phase of bliss and harmony. Yes, this is a card of wishes come true. But for me, more so, this is a card of wishes are coming true because just everything's aces. You know what I mean? Everything is going smooth. You walked away from that toxic shit with the Eight of Cups, and this was your reward. And then guess what? After that, the fucking Ten of Cups is going to be your reward. Okay? But just the energy of this card itself, and I wish it was a better camera, the blue into purple fade, it just is like, I fucking needed this. I needed this. And Gemini, you didn't. You needed this. Like, some of you needed it. It's been a hard 6 months. Some of you guys, it's been hard like 3 years. Okay? You're going to be entering into a phase of bliss and harmony. After all this, you really have to, you really gotta fucking buck up though and make that fucking hard choice. Gemini, you guys are some of the people that can handle making the hard choices, okay? You already know. You have been prompted what it is that you need to do. You have the knowledge. You have the secret knowledge. You are the keeper, not the kept from, okay? You need to get away from whatever this symbolizes to you, this controlling, obsessive, possessive, controlling energy, okay? You know this. So once you do, you regain balance, or you help someone regain balance. You come into a phase of bliss and harmony, contentment, easy street, and boom, Six of Wands, fucking victory. Victory, loyalty, compassion, feelings declared and well received. Okay? Rising up against those relentless obstacles, Gemini, and rising to the occasion every time. Being like, yeah, yes, sir, may I have another? Yes, sir, may I fucking have another? You got this shit. You've been like playing it cool for a while. I want to say to some of you Geminis, just sitting back, taking notes, kind of like I was saying. The Mother and the Daughter of Swords are very observant. They're honest and truthful with their communication, but they might cut you. They might cut a bitch verbally speaking, of course. when they're ready to speak up and speak out, okay? But it's because you're doing so from a place of conviction and a place of victory. This is also, about public success. So some of you guys are like a little worried about like um, the job front, you know, if the money is making you a little cuckoo, all good news for your bank account. That is the one of the interpretations with the card. It's not a um, bad news to your bank account card. You've been putting in the work. Seven of Pentacles. Okay, this is about public recognized success as well, like fame. Not necessarily fame, but one of the themes of the card is that people are noticing that you're bucking up and you're buckling down, I guess I should say, and doing the fucking work, Gemini. Okay. I'm really stoked. I don't even know if I'm prepared to do this. It's my only Oracle deck down here, so I guess I kind of forced myself. Kim Kranz created this wonderful deck that I use most of the time, besides the regular Rider-Waite, the Wild Unknown deck. And I know most of you guys who watch tarot know of Kim Kranz. She also has a Spirit Animal Oracle deck. Well, I just was able to receive for my mother-in-law. She kicks ass. This damn, I thought I had a title on it. This box. I'm just kidding. This is the Kim Kranz newest deck. It is the Archetypes deck. And I'm gonna be fucking straight legit with you guys. I've read the foreword. It was the longest, most beautiful story of how a deck came to be I've ever read. I know why it's created, and I'm not even. I've read maybe a dozen of the 78 Oracle cards, mind you, 78. You guys are the first ones that I'm going to spring this on. What I've been doing, I haven't read for anyone or myself yet out of this deck. I've been taking the cards, looking at them, and then when I shuffle, take one or two out and write down what feelings or, things are coming to me. Like, I'm not like saying I'm a, non-going auctioneer in the head, but like what slow, subtle realizations are coming from the cards. And I've been, I don't know, at least I'd like to say 50 to 70% accurate thus far. Watch, I'm going to totally biff it this time. Just so you Gemini's like, yeah, fuck you. You dumbass. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I fucking love you guys. So I'm excited to debut on my channel the new deck of Kim Kranz, the Archetypes deck. Now, she split it into 4 suits, just like a tarot deck, but it is an Oracle deck. The selves, the places, the tools, and the initiations. Okay. Again, I have not really gotten into the nitty-gritty of all of this, but when I do pull 1 or 2 cards for you, I'm going to give you my interpretation very quickly. 24 minutes. My interpretation very quickly, and then I'm going to read out of her words because that is what will trigger for you guys. The Healer and the Siren. There's a lot of snakes in this deck, I noticed. There's a lot of hands and old coins. There's a lot of gemstones, if that's resonating with anybody for some reason. Oh, geez Louise. Is that the one that was just there? No, the next one. They're very new, so I apologize. And circle decks are kind of a bitch to shuffle with anyway, but they're very cool. And they're very fun to learn with. Once they get broken in a little bit, easy peasy. Which one of you wanted to come out? I felt it. Universe, Source, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels, and God. Can you please not embarrass me with this beautiful new deck of mine? And help me give Gemini, not you, help me give Gemini either some validation in their reading I just gave them, or some new messages. Like I said, I've only really looked and worked with a dozen of these cards, just at random. So bear with me, you guys. You guys are the best. And I like, learning with you guys on the channel, like new like new decks that I have and things like that. You guys aren't like, oh, she doesn't have that memorized. You guys are very warm and gentle to me. Ooh. Oh, motherfucker. This one keeps showing itself to me, so I'm gonna have to read it now, obviously. Wow. Yeah. So first here we have, remember, it's the selves, the places, the tools, and the initiatives. So this is a self archetype, the siren. Okay? And this isn't even doing it justice. It's just, they're fucking gorgeous cards. The siren. Right behind that, we have the poet, and I'm only tying these two together because of this. What is a siren in typical, and then the crone, interesting. What is a siren in typical, folklore? It is a mermaid who sings pirates to their death. They enchant them, they woo them to crash their ships on the sides of rocks and things like that. And then I see the poet, and I've always been a writer. I like to think I have a poet heart. What does a poet do? They entice you. They bring you along on a journey with them. They may break your heart at the end as well. Physically, typically, you won't have as much of a reaction as you would from the siren, but life is wooing you right now, Gemini. Life is calling to you. Which side, I want to say, are you going to go for? I know nothing about these two cards. The poet to me is just so beautiful. It's hands encased around a globe with a person with no head with birds flying out of it. And I wish that my camera was doing it justice. And the siren. It's theft. Don't know why I just said that. Theft. Whoa, I don't even know what that shit is. Oh, no way. Is this Thanos? Some of you, whatever movie. I think this is Thanos, I want to say. These cards are the initiation cards, and they're set a little differently. Thanatos? Thanos would just be no T, right? Interesting. So, wow. You have the warrior, number 10. This is you earning your stripes, I want to say, Gemini. I want to say this is, and we have the crone here too. So, this is you earning your stripes. I'm just going to say that for now. This is a 10. You're coming to not a closure, you're coming to a leveling up, you're coming to a graduation. Okay, that's what I'm going to say about this card. Okay, we have 7, 10, 18. What the hell is that? That card is. I'm so sorry. I feel like this is so rude, but I want to properly pronounce this word. I probably have lost the room. I apologize if I have. Yes. I always gotta define. I'm like that annoying Googled it person. Okay, so while I'm being annoying, Thanatos. Okay. This is okay. For the sake of fun, remember those sides we were talking about choosing, the siren or the poet? Who's going to woo you, Gemini? You're gonna woo you. Number 1, some of you guys. Number 2, you are just like finally above some of the drama, I want to say to both of you, and you're like, no, not this time. What was your freaking October fucking video? Not today, devil. Not today, devil. But I really feel like the poet is like a softer energy. This is a person around you that like wants to woo you. The siren wants to woo you because they want to destroy you. And the warrior in you is like, I don't need either of that shit. Okay. Thanatos. All right then. Thanatos. Let's see what he's all about, shall we? Because now I'm just fucking intrigued and we're going about 30 minutes. I apologize. And I open right up almost directly to it. I feel like from this card, ooh, torn. It is tempting to oversimplify death and sum it up as a transformation. But the true archetypal resonance of say it again, bitch. Of Thanatos cannot be easily assimilated or contained. Death is ongoing and omnipresent. Awesome word. Death is ongoing and omnipresent, an eternal response to the gift of birth. Witnessing the end of another being, creature, phase, or stage has deep consequences for the psyche. We are forever changed by Thanatos as it sweeps us under its wings. It makes us relinquish control in every form. If it leaves a mark of ash upon our heart, signifying that we have touched the cusp of the underworld and we return to the land of the living eventually, with more compassion and more wisdom to share. I feel like that's going to tie in with this warrior card, I'm going to say. When this card appears, it signifies an invitation to the underworld. Interesting. The devil card. He's trying to woo you. Fucking whoosh. Don't be wooed, Gemini. Don't be wooed. Ha! Don't be rude. Just kidding. Facing Thanatos or death leads us to Aletheia, the truth. So facing your death leads you to the truth. When it's light, this is about grieving, mourning, and bearing witness to all that is. When this is dark, it is about fear or insecurity to old age, illness, or the dying. And go deeper by reading The Mower by Philip Larkin, apparently. There are those with a great gift for navigating Thanatos energy. Thankfully, we find these generous souls in emergency rooms, hospitals, hospice centers, and the like. Upstairs is my aunt-in-law, if you will, and she has been a nurse at South Shore Hospital forever, and it just made me think of her. That shout out to freaking EMTs and firefighters and nurses. You guys are the shit. I could not do what you do, and it's beautiful. All right, the poet came up next. The poet's work is to feel immensely and to not be afraid. They must seek out the truth. Okay, I'm noticing a trend in the darkest corners of the world and carry it back for all to see. The unique capacity resides within all of us, regardless of our relationship to creativity. When the poet energy is present, there is a call for deep honesty and reflection, and for seeing the big picture within the little one. The poet rides effortlessly between personal and universal. It is possible that others may not seem to listen or care about the poet's work. True, but do not be discouraged. The words of the poet ring true for centuries to come, soothing the wounds of despair and violence that captivate our world. Wow. Kim Krans, you do not disappoint. The poet's work is never finished. Find your voice and trust that the wind will carry it. Guys, again, I know nothing about these cards. I'm just translating them to you verbatim, and I'm resonating with this reading, so I hope somebody else out there is as well. When this is light, it means clairvoyant, wise, and timeless. When dark, harmful words, that's a very Gemini thing, communication, sharp tongue, so it says, quick-witted Gemini, and thwarted creativity, shut down. Go deeper. Spend 1 hour reading poetry, and then one more. I could suggest a few if anyone's interested. I'm a dork. It is likely there is a poem or a poet that is meaningful to you at a young age. Revisit and reread it now and be open to its message. Yes, Poe has always been like intriguing to people. Edgar Allan Poe. Um, Sylvia Plath, maybe for some of you. The poet is related to the shaman and the bridge. These archetypes hover in the meeting place between the everyday and the sacred. Fucking beautiful. I want to see what the siren's all about. What is her bag, huh? The temptress, the seducer, the femme fatale. Also, very Gemini energy. Please don't take offense. I mean that with the greatest of compliment, okay? Other interactions of the siren archetype include the nymph, the mermaid, and the fairy. They often come in sets of three, as a trinity of temptation. Interesting. Siren calls and the world spins. What we thought we wanted pales in comparison to the sweet allure of her song. We find others lost in the spell of desire and longing, perhaps even lust. Whether the thing calling to us is ultimately good or bad, or somewhat irrelevant, it is the journey that matters. So that's what we're talking about. Who's wooing you? Is the poet calling to you? Is the siren calling to you? Is Death Thanos, the ultimate end all be all energy, calling to you? It's the journey that matters, and the work of the siren is to take us on a deep psychic descent. Following her song, we go deep down, down. So it does relate, because the poet goes and retrieves that deep, dark emotion and brings it back to us. And then the siren is going to take you down so you understand it. Down, down, down to a place where lessons are learned and courage must be rallied to find our way back to dry land. Try as we might, resisting the call might not be even be an option. Unless like you, unless like you, I can't say his name. The Odyssey, Homer and the Odyssey. Odysseus, we bind our hands to the mast of our ship. It is likely, though, that falling for her call is the only way we will come to live more freely and more fully on the surface. When light, the siren is awakened, sensuality, absorption, and arousal. When she is dark, it is wickedness, adultery, wreckage, betrayal, and insatiability. To go deeper, J.W. Waterhouse's nymph paintings and Lana Del Rey's album Ultraviolence, apparently. Yep, Ultraviolence, not Ultraviolet. Embodying the siren archetype requires that we explore the things that are taboo. The siren laughs at the conventions and the constraints, and she eats rules. Very interesting. So, warrior, so being up against these three energies, the warrior is going to be you guys. And if you're going to decide if you go with somebody else or if you walk your own path. A lot of these cards have been talking about going within, reflection, taking it down, down deep. See what the warrior has to say for us, and I will bid you all adieu. All right, number 10. 10. Can I get a 10? All right. Maiden, the warrior, the hunter. All right. This card's fucking beautiful, man. The warrior. The samurai, the soldier, the advocate. Very Seven of Wands vibe. Without a true purpose, manifesto, or oath, the warrior is lost. What do you stand for? What are you willing to rise in the name of? Write it out. Poet, write it out. We often envision the warrior as an unarmored figure with a sword in hand, moving blindly toward battle. Yet the deeper aspects of this archetype bring us face to face with death itself. Interesting how this all ties in. I love this shit. The warrior stands precariously at the edge of life and death. So all of these energies are in between, in the waiting room, if you will, in the underworld and in the land of the living. Gemini, you guys are two people. Possibly, like Scorpio, you can go to the depths and you can come back all right. You can, split and come back and compare notes. The warrior's work requires presence, alignment, and purpose. If And when the warrior loses its center, meaningless confrontations and violence are their default response. When this card appears, it is important to question the battle at hand. It is likely a great one, deep roots and long-standing tensions. The actions you take will stay with you long after the dust settles. Weren't we saying something like that? That once you make this decision in the seesaw, it's going to be rooted for a while to come because you've already been fucking here for so long. I want to break free. Sorry. The actions you take will stay with you long after the dust settles. So choose wisely, brave. So choose wisely, brave one. As you draw your sword, realign with your internal wisdom within. Then surrender to battle. When this card is light, it is fierce clarity. It is purposeful action, resolve, and resilience. When it is dark, it is threats, abandoning missions, and values. If you want to go deeper with this, Tao Te Ching, Chapter 68, the the Sa- the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, sorry. Be careful, as the warrior implies war. The two go hand in hand, and those who defeat others are strong. Those who defeat themselves are mighty. Gemini, yeah, this deck is amazing, and I hope that you guys didn't mind the 40-minute reading. You're probably going to see a lot more of this archetypes deck on the channel because that was profound for me, and I hope that some of you guys were able to take even an inkling, even one message away from that. Okay, Gemini, you guys are the shit. Okay, I love you guys very much. I'm just gonna stop while I'm ahead, hopefully, because it is a 43-minute reading now. I know some people go on for 2 hours. That's just not my style. Gemini, you guys rock. I fucking love you. Namaste. I don't have to. I don't have to. No words. I love you guys.